Hello and welcome to Case Closed. I'm Charlie Langton, your host. We'll soon go inside an actual courtroom in the Warren District Court to see a real small claims case in action. Now, under Michigan law, small claims cases may be brought by individuals seeking $3,000 in damages or less. Neither side may be represented by an attorney in small claims court, and the judge's decision is final. Now, let's take a look at the case of the mysterious leaky valve.
37th District Court is in session. I will Judge Schmer presiding. Please remove your hats and shut off your cell phones.
Okay, Mr. Elliott, this is your case. Tell me about it.
All right, sir. Approximately Thanksgiving of last year, Mr. Dexter was remodeling my daughter and son-in-law's kitchen. My wife and I decided we were going to remodel our kitchen, so we were over our daughter and son-in-law's house, seeing Mr. Dexter doing the job, and was pleased with the job. Mr. Dexter said he was done doing that job shortly, and he would be looking for another job. We had ordered the product from Home Depot and also had contracted somebody from Home Depot to give us a price, and Mr. Dexter came in at a cheaper price.
What did you order from Home Depot?
Kitchen cabinets, countertops, sinks.
So you're going to redo your whole kitchen?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Dexter came in and said that he could do everything. He could do the drywall, the electrical, the floors, the counters, the sinks, the plumbing. He could do everything that I needed done.
You weren't buying any parts through him, right?
Correct.
All right, go ahead.
I had purchased everything, and Mr. Dexter started the work shortly after Thanksgiving, about December 14th, 15th. The week of December 15th was his first paycheck. Mr. Dexter did the work. He was doing fine until we got to the ceramic tile on the floor.
How much are you going to pay him to do all this?
A total of over $4,000, sir. I have the copies of the checks right here if you'd like.
Well, would you have a number? I mean, an exact figure that you were going to pay
The
him?
exact figure is $39.95, I believe.
$3,995?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
And Mr. Dexter continued doing the work, and on the day of January 16th, he started doing the tile work on the floor of the kitchen and the utility room. He was putting down porcelain tile. As he was doing the work, him or one of his helpers was working around a boiler furnace that I had installed a couple years previous to this. I've been remodeling
Where?
this.
Not in the kitchen? In the kitchen?
Pardon?
Where?
In the utility room.
Utility room, all right.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Him and one of his helpers was installing the tile around the boiler, and they laid on the boiler or whatever, they damaged the valve. I contacted Mr. Dexter about this. Mr. Dexter says he had a buddy who was in the heating and cooling business. He'd pick up the valve and replace the valve. That he talked to his friend, he knew what he was doing. I let Mr. Dexter pick up the valve. He put the valve on. That day I got home about 8 o'clock. Before I got home, Mr. Dexter called me up and said, Mr. Elliott, I have 2 tiles that we need to replace on your floor because my guy put them down and they aren't down right. I said, okay, no problem, John. Take care of the 2 tiles. He said, there'll be no charge for these 2 tiles. It's my fault. I'll take care of it. So he commenced to doing that. I got home after 8 o'clock that night, found that the valve had been replaced on my boiler, but the valve has settings on it that weren't set properly.
How do you know that it wasn't set properly?
I have a statement here from the boiler company that did the repair.
All right, you can give that to me.
There's a
Okay, go
receipt.
ahead.
There's the receipt, the top receipt.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I came home that night. It was after 8 o'clock. Once I got home, the boiler is making all kinds of noise. I walked in, found that Mr. Dexter had replaced over 60 tiles when it was supposed to be 2 tiles.
How big were the tiles?
12 by 12 tiles. In fact, I have pictures of it,
60
sir.
tiles?
Pardon?
60 tiles in your utility room?
Utility and kitchen he replaced.
Oh, all right.
Can I bring these up?
Yeah,
to-
bring them on up. Let's take a look. All right, go ahead. Would you have a picture of each and every tile here?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Dexter replaced 62 tiles, I believe it was exactly. Some of the tiles were uneven. Some of them had larger gaps in it. When Mr. Dexter replaced the tiles, when he called me, he said, was only you're supposed to replace 2 of them. When he replaced them, he had to grind up the cement that held the tiles down.
Okay.
he didn't cover the cabinets that he had put on the walls and for the kitchen. So I contacted Mr. Dexter after I
New
got,
cabinets then, right?
pardon?
These were the new ones that were
Yes,
installed?
sir.
All right, go ahead.
So I contacted Mr. Dexter. He came out to the house. I told him what was wrong. I showed him what was wrong. As you could see some of the pictures there of the tiles, the gap, the spacing between the tiles
Right.
is larger than others. The tiles are all uneven. He just did a horrible job. So Mr. Dexter came out, he grabbed all of his tools, and he left.
Now, I'm looking at the one invoice here from Williams Refrigeration and Heating Incorporated dated January 18th, earlier this year. This is what it says. Boiler was overheating. Someone put a new backflow preventer on and left the reducing valve wide open, causing city pressure to fill boiler to 400 pounds per square inch. He left in January, took his tools and some of your tools, and then what? Did you ever hear from him again, or what?
Never heard a word from him again, sir. That's why I filed this action.
Well, you're
I
suing-
asked him on that last day before he left if I could have the key back for my house. He took the key to the house, said he didn't have the key to the house. I had to have the house rekeyed also.
You're suing for $3,000, which is the most that you can get in small claims court. How'd you come up with $3,000?
I have to replace all the tile in the kitchen, in the utility room, because Mr. Dexter installed it improperly.
Okay?
The tile, I have the cost for the tile here.
See that. Did you ever get your tools back?
No, sir.
What tools did he take?
A drill, a circular saw, a couple hammers, and a couple utility knives.
Why would he take those? Because he was using them, or what?
He was using them when he was doing my work.
How are you coming in for $3,000?
The missing tools and the washer and dryer.
What do you, washer and dryer. Now, this is something new. What about
Mr.
washer-
Dexter, I purchased a new washer and dryer during this remodel.
Okay.
Mr. Dexter took the old washer and dryer, which he was supposed to install a door on my garage. He had brought a gentleman over to the house to do tile work. When the washer and dryer was sitting outside, this gentleman says, "I'll buy the washer and dryer." I said, "John, this guy wants to buy them." He says, "I'll put the door on your garage for the washer and dryer."
Who said this?
The guy that John brought over to do the tile work.
All right. So you had a separate deal with this other guy.
Correct.
What's his name, do you know?
I have no idea. John brought him.
Okay.
He was a one day. He came one day. John brought different helpers on different days. His brother a few days.
So he was gonna put a new garage door on your garage in exchange for the old washer and dryer.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Circular saw, the drill.
Wait a minute, but how does that get you to $3,000?
Oh, the washer and dryer, I got to figure is worth a couple $100.
But didn't you get a garage door out of
No.
it? He didn't do it.
No, he did not do it, sir.
Well, you gotta sue him for that. You can't.
No, this was the gentleman that took the washer and dryer. He was going to install the garage door
Right.
on my garage.
Right.
I bought the door. He
Right.
didn't do the installation, is what I'm
But
saying.
why is Mr. Dexter liable for that?
Because he's the one that took the washer and dryer instead of the other guy taking it for the,
So he
putting the
just took-
garage
he
door
did-
on.
Why did he take it if it was supposed to go to this other guy?
The other guy, no, the other guy said he would buy it, and John said he would take care of
So he would
putting the
give it to-
garage door on instead of letting the other guy buy it.
How much is that old washer and dryer worth?
A couple $100.
That's true. You're up to $2,661.70.
Circular saw on the drill's worth $100 and,
Both, or each, or what?
a piece, sir.
That's
One was a
200.
Makita, one was a Milwaukee,
Circular saw and what was the other one? A drill.
a drill.
200 or $100 for each of those.
Yes,
2861.70. That it?
that's it.
So a little under 3,000.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
There are two issues in this case. First, did Mr. Dexter wrongfully replace the leaky valve? And if he did, is he responsible for all the damages caused by that leaky valve? Let's see what his defense is.
Okay. Well, what do you have to say about all this, Mr. Dexter?
I was hired by Mr. Elliott on a day-to-day basis. He would pay me on Friday.
You never had a contract.
Never had a contract. Never had a contract. He was to help with this.
Is that true? Was that the way it
No,
was
sir.
supposed to be, Mr. Elliott?
No, sir.
He was going to do the whole thing himself.
He was doing the whole thing, sir.
You were not going to help him one tiny bit.
Not at all.
Go ahead. He says no. Is he lying?
Absolutely not. He was to help through this project. He's got a bad rotator cuff, and he helped very little. He
Oh, yeah, he has a bad rotator cuff.
I wouldn't even offer
he
to
was
help,
paying
sir.
me $125 per day.
Okay,
Brought somebody, very cheap. I mean, why, I'm not taking on any liabilities for that. There's no contract. The washer, dryer, microwave, there was a microwave in there too. He filed a police report against me, a larceny.
well, yeah, he says you took some of his tools.
Right, and there was an investigation,
Okay,
and no wrongdoing on my part was found. Because he was discarding those, they were going in the trash. And he got upset with me after 3 days.
guarding them?
Pardon?
He was guarding them or discarding them?
Yes,
He was
discarding.
gonna throw them away and you took them out of the trash?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
No, they were put out by his fence. He asked me if I wanted them. I asked a friend if he wanted them. They said, they actually got snowed
No,
on.
I'm talking about the tools now. not-
There were no tools. He has my tools. He has my Makita tools, and he knows it. He has an air nailer, an air hose, and an air compressor
Why
that
didn't
he
you
won't
sue him
return.
for it?
I'm working on it. I guess I will.
All right.
I have no contract. It wasn't just me. I was working for $125 a day. He was supposed to help out. He was supposed to take care of all permits and any permits, which he didn't. I'm not getting any permits. I'm just doing this. And this is what's happened. It's turned into a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of lies.
Well, pack of lies from somebody here.
I have a police report right here.
Yeah, I know, you showed it to me. Mr. Elliott, you said you were to pay him $3,995.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything written down saying that?
As he said, he was working by the date, sir. I had the copies of the checks, which I
He
gave
would
you.
pay me his work was
No,
satisfied.
I'm asking, when I asked the question, what I meant was, did you have an agreed upon price that you were gonna pay him to do all this work before he got started?
He was working on a daily basis.
Okay,
Because the
what was
work,
what was the daily amount that you were gonna pay him
125 for him and 125 for his helper, every day,
per day?
per day. He
you-
did drywall work, sir.
Okay, so wait a minute, you were gonna pay $250 a day until this thing got done?
Correct.
Well, how, did you have any idea how much it was gonna cost you?
No, I was just gonna do it until we were done.
So
was-
indefinitely,
Pardon?
indefinitely potentially.
Oh, no, I knew that it wouldn't take too long, 3 or 4 weeks. He would only work, one day, he'd take a couple days off, work a couple days, take a day off.
The $3,995, is that what you paid him? Is that where that number
Yes,
comes
sir.
from?
Those, you have the copy of the checks there.
Well, how much did you think it was gonna cost you to do this?
About $6,000 total.
Okay, was that the agreement, is you were gonna get $125 a day and your helper $125 a day?
Yes, as he paid us, he was satisfied. That's how that worked.
Well,
He paid us on Friday.
okay, and you worked
We performed the
however many
work.
days you were gonna work. It was not set in stone, right?
I have other jobs I
Right.
was at, and if it is in between, there, like the
But my
tiles.
question is, it was not set in stone as to how many days a week you were going to work.
Absolutely not.
You worked when you got a chance. Is
Exactly.
that correct?
He was supposed to start on the job and finish the job, as he did my daughter and son-in-law's house.
I understand that, but
From
did
the
you have an
start to-
agreement with him about how many days a week he was going to work?
It was gonna be 5 days a week he was gonna work.
Monday through Friday?
Yes, sir.
Is that true?
No.
Well, what was it gonna be? Just whenever you had time?
It was, but it didn't happen like that. He didn't have
But what was
material.
the agreement, though, that you had with him at
I
the
would work on the
beginning?
job until it was completed,
How many days a week?
Monday through Friday.
Okay, so that's true then.
That part's true.
Okay, well,
But I
that's...
did not do that because
All right,
materials were not there.
okay.
I was unable to do it.
What do you
So-
mean? Why weren't the materials there?
They were
Mr.
there all,
Elliott was supplying them.
everything was there before he even started the job, Your Honor. As he asked for something the night before, it would be there the next day.
What about the furnace? The boiler? I mean, I've got...
The boiler is not 2 years old. I'm guessing it's more than 15 years old. It has a pilot light. If he has some proof of how old it is and some maintenance records, that thing has not been maintained. There was debris all over it. We cleaned out his utility room to lay the floor, and when we were cleaning out the room, that's when we said, we cannot lay tile, the boiler's leaking. And he said he would get it taken care of, and he never did.
But I've got these statements from Williams Refrigeration and Heating Incorporated saying that someone put on a new backflow preventer, and apparently that was causing a problem. You did put a new valve on there, right?
Yes, I did.
Did you do it incorrectly?
No, I did not.
Why did, what about
He
these
was
statements?
there, he was there the whole time when this had happened. I originally purchased the valve for him. He was gonna take care of it.
But you-
Then he said,
but-
put it on,
but you-
yes.
you did.
Yes, I did.